Blast is a hero that so far in specifically the One Punch Man manga we have not heard much from until the recent chapter of One Punch Man, which was chapter 135. And so far within the One Punch Man fanbase there has been many theories on who Blast could be, and I have a brand new theory that not anyone that I know of has made or theorized about when it comes to identifying who Blast is in One Punch Man. But before we begin the video, make sure you leave a like on the video because likes taste nice, I guess, and it just helps the video in the algorithm and stuff, you know, just YouTube stuff. Just leave a like, it takes like 1 second. But anyway, now I'm done pleading for your satisfaction by asking for you to like the video. Let's just get into the damn video. So Blast at the moment in the series, as I said in the intro of the video, has not been really talked about in detail. So far, all we know about Blast is that he is the #1 S-class hero. He also quote unquote defeated Sentichuru, and that in terms of power he's apparently unrivaled, and it's also been stated that Blast will appear when the world needs him most. And although people think that, I just want to know where he was when Psycho severed like half of the freaking earth. Well, it wasn't half, but it was a good amount of the earth, like she literally severed in two. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that if Psycho's continued her destructive streak, then humanity as a whole would have been at risk. And I actually have a video coming up on why Psychos is a god level threat, because a lot of people in the community actually think she's not. So I decided it's time for me to make a video talking about it. But anyway, back on topic, who is Blast, or rather who could Blast be? So my personal theory on Blast's identity is that he's Saitama's doppelganger, and I'm sure everyone watching the video knows what a doppelganger is, or the belief that every human on earth has a doppelganger. But just for the people that don't know what a doppelganger is a double of a living person. Blast and Saitama, if you really think about it, are incredibly similar, to the point that the theory of Blast being a doppelganger of Saitama isn't too much of an outlandish idea to have. At the moment we don't know enough to completely rule out the idea of Blast being a doppelganger. Perhaps if you read the webcomic you may be able to debunk anything I say in this video, but actually it's really just the theory. Debunking isn't really necessary. It's not like I'm making a concrete claim that Blast is Saitama's official doppelganger. It's pretty much just an assumption at this point. Both Saitama and Blast are considered to have unrivaled strength, which makes me believe in my theory even more. I feel like the identity of Blast is a lot more simpler than you think. One Punch Man isn't meant to make you think too much about things in general, which is why I feel like we as a fanbase are doing too much mental gymnastics, and we almost overthink when trying to figure out Blast's identity. I don't think we'll get introduced to Blast properly until maybe another 100 to 150 chapters. I feel like we'll get introduced to him properly near the end of the series, because at the moment I don't really see why we need to be introduced to Blast yet, due to the fact that not only are we a bit too early in the series to get introduced to Blast, but we also have not encountered a strong enough monster that gives Saitama even somewhat of a challenge. I've heard a lot of people that think because Blast appeared in the last chapter of the manga, which was chapter 135, that he will appear in the next chapter, which is chapter 136. And I don't really know how people can really think that, but I've made a whole video talking about why Blast will not make an appearance in chapter 136, so check that out if you're confused on this whole topic of Blast appearing in the next chapter and whatnot. As I was saying, Blast's appearance to me wouldn't really make sense, because it's just a bit too early for us to be introduced to a character that has been hyped up since the beginning of the damn series. The way Blast is hyped up as this incredibly strong character has to imply that he's an end game type of character. He's someone that is meant to appear near the end of the series, or when there's like a threat too tough for even Saitama to handle, which to be honest I don't really see a monster coming up that gives Saitama too much trouble to the point that he can't even defeat the monster. The only monster that has lasted more than 30 seconds against Saitama was Boros, and even then Saitama did not use his full power. So the bottom line is, I'm not sure if we're going to see any monster that Saitama cannot handle anytime soon. But onto a kind of unrelated note, Blast at the moment in the series is not a character that people can really power scale properly, because let's be completely honest, we haven't seen any feats from Blast that allow us to power scale him properly. The only few things that we know about him is he is respected by every S-class hero, including Tatsumaki, which kind of already tells us that he is a god level threat in terms of power, due to the fact that Tatsumaki herself is a god level threat, and I wouldn't really see Tatsumaki having respect for people that are weaker than herself, if that makes any sense, because she is quite an egotistical person. She has confidence, not confidence, but she's self-aware that she is very powerful and she should only respect people that are more powerful than her, I guess. I don't know her mindset, it's kind of complicated in a way. But anyway, as I was saying, if you disagree that Tatsumaki is not a god level threat, then I actually have a video on why she very well is actually a god level threat. So if you're interested in that, then check out that video, because I think it was a pretty good video. But as I was saying, Blast is respected by all the heroes. He's also said to be the one that quote unquote defeated Sentashiro. And the last thing we know about Blast is that he's rank 1 of the S-class heroes. And I'm just gonna say it straight up, these 3 things we know about Blast isn't enough to power scale him or even do a versus battle between anyone in the One Punch Man universe, because we just don't know enough about the guy. If you read the webcomic, then you may know more things about Blast than most of the One Punch Man community do, because I know only a few people read the webcomic and like 90% of the fan base either only watch the anime or read the manga. Personally, I've read a few chapters ahead of the current chapter of the manga through the webcomic, and to be honest, it's actually really different in terms of how each of them execute the story. For example, many of the events that happen in the manga don't actually happen in the webcomic, which is kind of interesting in all honesty, because that means webcomic and manga readers have pretty much a completely different experience when reading the series. But that doesn't take away the fact that the webcomic is ahead of the manga, and I'm sure webcomic readers do have more information on Blast than most manga exclusive readers do. So maybe when I get around to reading the webcomic, I can make a proper video with more information about who Blast could actually be. But that's all I have for this video. If you like the video, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on and set to all. And apart from that, I will see you in my next video.